All right, guys, I just had a great conversation with a brand new client. So here's some of the key takeaways from that video. Wait, so what made you join up the National Guard?
So during COVID, kind of everything was on lockdown, and I was like, man, what do I want to do? My uncle had been in the National Guard. He retired as a major, so he was kind of trying to persuade me. I was like, you know what? During this time, nothing's going on. I could go in the National Guard and be part time, and then when I get out, still kind of live my regular daily life, and then still serve the 1 week in a month. So that's kind of how that happened.
How was boot camp for you personally?
Personally, the physical stuff, because I love to work out, was pretty fun because I just love to work out and be active. But it was more mentally draining because you have other people in your platoon, in your group, that if they mess up or they want to act like dumbasses, then you get punished for it. So that was the more frustrating part.
What's your favorite memory from boot camp?
Probably the boys that I met. I got 4 solid boys, and we still stay in touch damn near every week. Just seeing what's going on. And we went on a little trip to Nashville and just partied and have fun. So yeah, definitely meeting them, man. Those are some good times.
What advice would you give to people that are looking to join the military in the future or just don't know too certain about just their future in general?
Yeah, so honestly, I would obviously talk to the recruiters, but most recruiters, you can't just talk to one of them because they could be biased and just trying to sign you to get their, check marks on their
Do they get
side.
commission off of that or something?
They don't, but it could help them get promotions in a way. If they're the best recruiter, signing more people. So I would just talk to multiple recruiters in multiple branches to get different filling out processes. And then also ask the recruiters if you can contact anybody that's in a unit that you would be going to, or a job or MOS that you would like to do, and kind of see their experience and their side. Because most of the time the privates aren't going to lie. They're going to tell the truth. Hey, it sucks here, or hey, it's awesome. So I would definitely use all the options I can, and also look at every single branch, because different branches offer different opportunities and different values and everything like that. So I'll definitely, keep my windows open for sure.
What were you studying in at NAU?
Criminology, but since then I changed it to business just because, kind of like how you're doing, entrepreneur, I would just like to kind of make my own business. In what? I have no idea, but I would definitely like to try to work for myself and figure something out.
And eventually I want to get into investing into real estate or some sort of land. The good thing about borrowing is just really the connections I build with people, because
Yep.
I can meet really a lot of young entrepreneurs, people in high school. Some of my clients already have businesses set in and all that. What do you like to do in your free time mostly?
So in my free time, like I said, I love to work out, and I've actually been amateur boxing. So I've already had 4 fights, and then I'm trying to fight again on the 21st of this month, but I haven't had an opponent yet, so kind of just waiting on that. Hopefully someone wants to fight me, as weird as that sounds, so I can kind of get another fight in. But the long haul, the main objective is to go pro, but I gotta get more experience, so that's why I'm trying to get as many fights in as I can.
What got you into boxing?
So growing up, I was always we didn't really grow up in the best neighborhood, so I grew up fighting, and my dad always trained me and my little brother how to fight. Fighting was just in our blood. My great grandpa was a pro boxer, and the whole dad side of the family just being rough. Everyone just grew up and fought. So I had my first amateur fight when I was 15, and then I just started getting into football a lot. So I started playing football, fell in love with football, and then really got back into fighting probably about this year, beginning of this year.
What do you have any specific goals for this year?
So my dad and I came up with this I guess you can call it a goal, where every single fight from here on out, we're just gonna try not to lose any rounds. And I mean, that sounds crazy, obviously, because that's total domination.
How were you saying about the never not lose a single round, kind of like a shoot for the stars mentality. Like,
Exactly.
don't settle for anything like lower. Have like big like dreams and expectations.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I try not to make little goals. You try to just, like that one saying, shoot for the stars, you miss, you end up in the clouds, At least just freaking try to dream big and work hard. What about you? What are your goals?
For this year,
Yeah, for this year.
I've accomplished a lot of them. I feel like so far.
Oh, hell
Just benching 225. That was one of my goals this year. I still have to go for a 275 squat this year.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I have goals for like YouTube and stuff. Like I said, I wanted to become a content creator this year. I wrote that down. Like I have a whole notes list of like all the goals I have written down,
Beautiful.
and accomplished a decent amount. I want to kind of like recap on it once like we get to the end of the year, like that. So I have those goals down. Just getting like my barbering more out there for sure.
Are the best, I guess, tips or just knowledge in general that like you've received from other barbers that have been successful? Yeah.
So patience is definitely one thing because obviously some weeks starting off like I wouldn't even cut more than 10 haircuts in a whole week. So patience was a thing. So I decided to take social media to my advantage to try to just put myself out there because I see a lot of these other barbers like Daniel Lux or Daniel Contreras, I think that's his last name. He's like a big like influencer barber who's like one of those who gets clients at like a super high price point. You see all those videos like $100 haircuts and all that.
Yeah.
He's like a mentor to those, and there's another one who's like one of those who's tried to be like booked out and stuff at like a lower price point, but also just like telling you like, oh, just stay in the shop all day and like just work on your craft.
Yep.
So it's like there's mixed ideas between that I like to bounce off of.
Has there ever been like a, I guess, head shape or like hair that just threw you off and you're like, how do I do this?
When people have the head shapes where they have like those wrinkles in the back of their neck or the head where it's like super like wrinkly, like you can't really like, you have to really dig into like it and you have to stretch their like head a lot to really get in there. So like the fade's never gonna look perfect just because of like that.
And so zhenblendz, obviously I'm pretty sure you know.
Definitely one of the biggest influences.
For sure. What do you like take away from him, or what do you see with him and like his tips or whatever?
His motivation can be there as well. The content idea that he made of like going up to random people and just cutting their hair, getting a good conversation with them, that's great as well. I think I would be down to try that one day.
And barbers are like truly a big thing, I feel, in this world. Like, as crazy as that sounds, like nobody wants to just keep going from barber to barber. Like, oh, I'll try this spot.
What's it called? It's like barbers at the end of the day, we're not just only barbers, like we're people.
Yep.
Like a people pleaser, I guess. Like we're kind of like therapists in a way.
Yeah.
For people, just because like girls have their like nail spots and all that, like pedicures and all that, while like us guys have like barbers, sometimes like facials.
For sure. I agree, man. Come here and just whatever you're feeling, talk, vent, whatever. And it goes vice versa, it goes both ways. If you're feeling down and you want to talk, go for it,
Exactly.
I feel it.
Just kind of keep up with people's like life and all that. Try to motivate them to do like better each and every day. See what kind of plans they're up to.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. I like pushing people to do like what they want. I guess like that's kind of like what influencer is. I never thought about like really being it until like I started to.
Yep.
But I just like seeing like these influencers' lives. Like they just talk on camera, then people watch it, people eat it up. Like
Yep. And speaking of like the whole plan and everything and what they're going on in their life, you pretty content with how your life is going right now with your goals and barber and all that?
I would say I'm content for right now, but I'm still like hungry. Like there's a great quote about Jalen Hurts that like he don't be hungry for like the stuff that he does because he be starving for it. So I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like inspirational in a way.
Yeah.
But do you have like a 5-year plan in mind or anything?
But I would love to be a pro fighter and just get some stability. Like right now, I'm trying to work as much as I can to kind of build my savings because growing up I always hated the instability of like not having enough food or clothes or whatever the case would be, um, and just not living in the best neighborhoods. So definitely, want my future and hopefully when I have a family, give them stability and let them know like everything's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry about money as long as you work hard and you focus and stay on track with your dreams. That it'll all work out. Um, I'm just kind of letting God guide me, but I definitely want to be a pro fighter by then and have my be more stable for sure.
Definitely, like money, I think truly like gets you a lot in the world. Like
Yeah,
you could say it's greed, but like
it's true though.
there's nothing completely wrong with greed because like if you have the money, you could live the life that you want and like you don't have to worry about anything, struggling to pay bills and all that.
Yeah,
That's something I don't want to have to experience.
exactly, man. As much as it sucks to say, I've had to pay rent late and just kind of worry about all that and just stressing out. I'm like, dude, this is terrible. You just gotta sit down with yourself and just kind of dig deep and say, hey, I'm never letting this shit happen again. Because the way it just makes you feel like as a human.
Have you always been religious growing up?
Yeah, like I said, in those times of struggle, my dad always said the Lord will provide, and we just went to church and just kind of stayed humble and through it all because, it's just what the Bible says. Just the Lord will provide, be a good person, do what you gotta do, work hard, and hopefully, God willing, everything will work itself out.
Yeah, I've been thinking like that's something I want to maybe get more into in the near future, just because like I've seen this one person post before of like a little like template of like if you speak to God about it, like it's like a template where if like say someone spreads like a bad rumor or something
Yep.
and you tell a friend and then it tells another friend and it causes another problem, like all these dramas and all that.
Yeah.
But versus if you just go straight to God and tell him about like what you need to vent about, all that, like he'll understand and you just feel kind of like at peace with it after.
Not taken the right way where they say, oh, well, if God's real, why is all the bad happening in the world, or God never listens, my life sucks. And people forget there's also the devil. As much as you want to believe in God, like when I started getting the fire for God and going to Bible study and doing all that, and I was like, oh dude, I love God, this is awesome. Boom, the devil attacks you even harder because he's like, oh, you're getting too close over there, you're getting too happy. So I feel like a lot of people forget that the devil is also there.
What's like one of the hardest challenges you had to face this year?
So my mom actually, she's kind of always been off and on with drugs growing up. But this year, my grandma finally kicked her out because it was just getting too bad, just too many bad people coming around. And unfortunately, right now she's homeless and, battling with drugs. I don't know where she's at. I haven't talked to her in about a year and a half, and definitely struggling, with that, just praying to God to keep her safe. But, it's tough when things are out of your control because, you literally can't do anything. You just have to hope and pray that everything's okay, and especially when it's your mom, a woman's out there in the night, you don't know what's happening. And, I try to do the most I can, but it's not like I could, I guess, provide for her. Like, I don't have that money to get her own spot, and even if I found her, I don't know if she would want to come back and live with me. So, it's just a very tough spot to be in. That's definitely a big challenge mentally, because physically I'm strong, but mentally I feel like everyone needs to be strong and kind of go through their own challenges because life isn't easy. So it's definitely pushing me mentally and making me mentally stronger, but just trying to cope with it and get by.
Yeah, I think perspective is a big thing in life, like just the way you look at things. Like
Yep.
if you wake up every day and think that like it's a drag to have to go to work versus like, oh, today like I get to work, like I get to cut hair, it's so much different the way you'll look to life, especially if you have like a certain goal in mind or purpose. Like you're gonna keep on chasing it, so like it's gonna happen eventually if you stay consistent
Yep.
with it.
100%.